Welcome to your weekly reading. Let me go ahead and shuffle and see what we have coming up for this week. Okay, so let's see what the first card is, and it is the Two of Pentacles. The Seven of Wands. The Hierophant. The Tower. The Five of Swords. The Princess of Wands. The World. The Ace of Swords. And the Seven of Cups. Okay, so give me a moment to look this over and tie everything together. Okay, so the first card that we have here is a Two of Pentacles. I usually associate this card with choices and decisions that you have to make. I feel like some people you're in the middle of like making a decision. If only it's only mental right now. You're thinking of possibly choosing between two things, two jobs, two partners. I feel like you're kind of weighing your options. And I feel like because the Seven of Wands is here, I feel like for some of you, I feel like how you view yourself is kind of like limiting your choices here. So there could be like, you know, a job that you have your eye on, or a career that you feel really drawn to, but because you feel that maybe other people are more qualified or better than you in some way, like you're not making the decision that you should be making. It's influencing this energy here. That's the energy of Seven of Wands, is that you just kind of feel that you feel intimidated by other people. You feel that they're stronger than you, better than you, smarter than you. For some people it could be career, like I said. It could be relationships that you're not, maybe you're not acting on your feelings towards someone else because you feel like, you know, maybe someone else is in the picture and you feel like they're not going to choose you anyway. I feel like you're being guided because you have the Hierophant here. You're being guided by your intuition and your feelings. And I feel like you have to make a choice here. Whatever choice that you make, I feel like it has to be because you're following your heart. You're not doing it out of fear, because this is fear here. You're fearing that you're not good enough in some way, whether you're not good enough for a career, you're not good enough maybe for school, you're not good enough for someone else. I feel like you have to make a decision from the heart, not out of fear. And the Hierophant, you know, this, like I said, this is spiritual energy. You're being guided towards someone. You're being guided to make a decision. I feel like some of you are being nudged, but you're not believing in yourself, and you're not believing in your guidance. And the Hierophant is also a card of being right where you belong. So I feel like some of you that are in the middle of making some type of decision or choice, you know exactly what's going on and you're being guided to where you need to be. Now I see something happening here with the Tower, you know, and it's lined up here with the Two of Pentacles, which I feel is a decision for some of you. Like, you want to make a decision, you're mentally preparing for it, you want to take some type of action, but I feel like you don't believe in yourself in some way. How you feel about yourself is limiting your choices, you're holding back. I feel like if you can get past this, like, there can be a radical change in your circumstances. That is the energy of the Tower. I feel like your life will be rebuilt. Your reality as you know it will completely change. You will have a completely different lifestyle. And I feel like this will, you know, it's a Tower, so it would happen rather quickly if you take action, if you're not allowing this energy from the Seven of Wands to really kind of dictate, you know, what you do with your life. And notice, I'm getting kind of ahead of myself here, but notice how the Seven of Wands is lined up with the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is also right smack in the middle of the reading. I always say that for me, a Five of Swords is not a card that I like to see in any reading, not in a reading for myself or for my clients, or even in a weekly reading, because of what it means. Sometimes it means that, you know, that other people are pulling one on you, that they're lying to you, that you have hidden enemies. But I kind of feel like, you know, based on what I've set up here, that you might be limiting yourself. It's also a card of being your own worst enemy, of not really kind of listening to your emotions. The Suit of Air, so you're more, you know, going with your thoughts, what you're thinking of yourself, and you might be thinking so little of yourself that you're not giving yourself what you deserve. So I feel like here, if you can get past this energy of the Seven of Wands, there can be a huge radical change in your life. And, you know, I do have to say, because, I mean, the Five of Swords lined up with the Seven of Wands, it could also be for some of you, since it's a general reading, make sure the decisions that you're making are based on your own feelings and intuition, and that you're not letting other people put in their 2 cents. I also feel, I'm not sure why, but, you know, Seven of Wands, this is feeling that someone else is stronger than you or better than you. And sometimes this involves other people kind of, you know, being sneaky around you. I feel like be aware of bad advice. Be aware of people who do not have your best interest at heart, especially when you're making a decision that you're already being guided to. I feel like for some people, it may be people for you that are not just generally not giving you good advice, that are not your best friend, that are not really giving you advice from the heart. You already have the guidance that you need in some type of decision that you're making, but some of you just may not be believing in yourself. Now over here, we have the Princess of Wands. So this is a lot of energy and a lot of movement, a lot of excitement. It's here with the Tower. So I feel like there's a potential for you to, part of it is that you have the ability to remove yourself from like old stagnant energy, from boring energy, or maybe a boring lifestyle, something that you're done with. We do have the World down here. This could also be someone that comes into your life that rescues you, that kind of moves you into a more positive phase in your life. And this could be part of this decision here, but you may have to make the decision to allow this person into your life. Remember, don't allow others to put in their 2 cents that gives you advice that is maybe not so genuine. Like I said, this is a lot of high energy, a lot of excitement, a lot of movement. Here, you know, the World. Here they're telling you that, you know, this is the end. This is the final card in the Major Arcana, and they're telling you that something has played itself out. For some of you, you already know this, which is why you're contemplating some type of move. You're maybe not necessarily a move as in location, but you're thinking of doing something. You have something on your mind like, should I or shouldn't I? And sometimes I feel like some of you talk yourself into it at times, and you're getting ready to take action, and then you say, no, I shouldn't, because you're thinking of this energy of the Seven of Wands, like, I'm not good enough in some way. You know, this or this is wrong with me, or what about the other person? Perhaps there's also, like I said, some advice that's not so genuine headed your way. They're telling you that it's time for an ending in your life. And that ending may be that it's time for you to stop thinking about yourself in a negative way, or limiting yourself as well. You know, it is next to the Ace of Swords. So I feel like that supports that message. It's time for an ending and a new beginning. To me, the World, you know, it is about an ending. It's a final card in the Major Arcana, but it's also about a new beginning. With every ending comes a new beginning. It's a new phase in your life, a new chapter. But I kind of feel like for some people, you're not quite like getting it, and so you're kind of stalling some type of decision here. The Ace of Swords right next to the World. Like I said, I feel like they're telling you here, it's time for a new way of thinking. This is a new beginning in the way you think, and I feel like this is the way that you think about yourself. Notice how they're all lined up here. They're all lined up. The Seven of Wands. Like I said, I'll go over it again. This is the energy of just kind of feeling like someone else is better than me. Someone else is smarter than me. Someone else is stronger than me. This is limiting yourself, talking yourself down. And again, this could also be, you know, just you being too mental and restricting yourself to where you're being your own worst enemy. You're not getting what you deserve. But it's all lined up here with a change in the way that you're thinking. I feel like you may not be valuing yourself in some type of decision or choice that you're thinking of making, but because of the way you're thinking about yourself, you're not making the decision that you're being guided to, and this is exactly where you belong. You know, we end the reading with the Seven of Cups. And, you know, this is the energy of confusion and a lot of things going on emotionally. Just feeling like emotionally lost because there's so many things going on inside of you. Sometimes with this card, there's also a lot of choices, which is interesting because that's what we started off the reading with. We start and we end the reading with a lot of choices and decisions. So I feel like for some people this week, like you're feeling torn. There's a decision maybe that you know you have to make. There's a decision that you know, there's some type of action that you want to take, but you're confused. Emotionally, there's a lot going on regarding this choice. Like you feel like you can't quite just make it and be done with it. There's a lot of things that go along with it. I feel like you're being very careful, but in the process I feel like you're limiting yourself in some way. Like you're someone else, you're feeling that someone else is better than you, and you're not really allowing yourself to make the choice that you're being guided to here from the Hierophant. So I feel like this is just confusion, and for some people just, you know, like feeling overwhelmed by the choices that you have to make. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the love reading. Okay, so let's get into the love reading. I apologize for the noise that you hear in the background. It's actually my neighbor. It came on during the weekly reading, I think in the middle. I waited as long as I could because he's been doing it all day long. So unfortunately, like, I can't do anything about it. So I'm sorry if it's annoying to you in any way. Let's see what's going on with everyone's love life. The deck and get 9 cards. Okay, so let's see what the first card is. Seven of Swords. Six of Wands. Two of Pentacles. Interesting because we had this card in the weekly reading. Knight of Cups. Three of Swords, which is right in the middle of the reading. the Hermit, which we also had last week. Temperance. Page of Cups. And then the final card is Strength. I'm not sure. I feel like I keep pulling the same cards, but you know, these are the messages that come up for us. So give me a moment to look this over and tie everything together. Let's start with this row here, the way I always do. And let's start off with people who are either married or in a relationship. I feel like, I mean, I'm kind of like getting ahead of myself here, but I feel like something is going on, you know, that is really challenging you and your partner. I feel like there's heartache. I feel like there's confusion. I feel like there's suspicion. And we start off with the Seven of Swords, which is, you know, sometimes this card means that someone is not being completely honest with you. It can mean that someone's not being honest with you. I feel like for those of you that are thinking like, oh my God, it may not apply to everyone. I feel like those of you that are coming into this reading thinking, let me see if like any cards confirm my situation. I feel like you know that this is for you. Like if you feel like your partner has been lying to you in some way, or you're not on the same page, notice how they're kind of lined up here. The Seven of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Strength card. This represents sometimes someone being dishonest with you, and we did have the Five of Swords in the general reading. It can mean that someone is either jealous of you, or is lying to you, or something that you don't want to see. And you know, it's lined up here with heartache and misunderstandings, and sometimes a breakup or a divorce. And then a card here of you having to be strong and rely on your spiritual strength and inner strength and being very forgiving with someone. So I feel like there may be something that either you don't want to see, or something that you're not aware of regarding your partner. And you know, the next card here is the Six of Wands. So you know, this is kind of like an iffy card. It's always a red flag when this card comes up, but it's next to the Six of Wands, which is very positive. It's the Victory card in the Tarot. It's a card of overcoming challenges. So I feel like even though you may be going through a rough patch in your relationship, I don't know, I feel like I keep saying this like every week, but I feel like this is what people are going through based on the private readings that I'm doing. Last week I was like, now I know why I keep pulling the cards that I do in the love reading. I feel like those of you that are going through a difficult situation with a love partner, you will overcome this. You have the Victory card here. But those of you that are meant to stay together, I feel like hang in there. I feel like, you know, we have the Two of Pentacles here. Part of it, I feel like there's just a lot going on in your relationship. I feel like some of you may need some space. It is lined up here with the Hermit, which we also had last week. You may need some space to kind of think as far as like where this relationship is headed, you know, if you and your partner are on the same page. I feel like most of it, for most of you that are watching, it can be worked out because the Six of Wands is here. I feel like some of you may have to make some type of decision. And remember that in the weekly reading, we started the reading with a decision and we ended the reading with a lot of decision with the Seven of Cups. There may be, you know, a decision you have to make your relationship better, a conversation that you have to have. But I feel like you can overcome this. This is success. Okay, so let me move on to those who are single and looking. When I look at the Seven of Swords, I feel like someone is like being like very stubborn. You know, this is a card of like not wanting to take the blinders off. Like I feel like someone, like there's something that you don't want to see about your love life. And you may even kind of get angry when people point it out, and it may be that either you're looking in the wrong place, I don't know, I just get this feeling that someone is like I feel like you're fighting like where you're being guided to. I feel like there's a decision that you have to make, but you're being very stubborn about it. I feel like if you make the decision that you want to make regarding your love life, maybe it's a partner that you're attracted to. Maybe it's just the decision to get back in there and date again. Maybe you're thinking of looking in a specific place. Maybe you've been kind of more of the club and bar type. Maybe you're thinking, maybe if I join this, group or whatever offline, maybe if I tried online dating. I feel like something that you don't want to see here, a decision or choice you have to make will bring success. I feel like this might lead you to the partner that you've been waiting for. So some type of possible decision here, or I feel like you may be looking in the wrong place as far as love. Okay, now back to those who are in a relationship or married. There's heartache in the middle. Like I said, there's heartache, there's disappointment. There might even be a separation because the Hermit is right next to this. So there may be some distance between you and your partner. And you may kind of feel like everything is lost, but it's not. Because although we have distance and heartache, the Knight of Cups is here. And the Knights all represent change. So I feel like I said, with the Six of Wands, things are not what they seem. For those of you that you feel like your partner's slipping away from you, or you don't know what's going on with them, what's going on in their head, this is change when it comes to your emotions, especially your love life. This is like a knight in shining armor. For those of you that are male, it doesn't matter. It could be, the perfect woman for you that's waiting. Well, this is for couples. They're telling you that your partner is the perfect person for you. But I feel like you may have to kind of go through some type of learning experience, and that may even involve time apart. But I feel like this will be worked out in your favor. But I feel like some of you, you're really kind of hurting over something that is really challenging you and the person that you love. Now, for those who are single, like I said, I feel like you're not looking in the right place. You're being stubborn. There's a choice or decision that you have to make. It's going to lead you to victory. And, here, they're telling you that love is here for you. You may kind of feel like you're not finding a partner and you're being the hermit. That's really important. You're being the hermit and you're kind of hiding away and, pretending that you're on a date with your TV or your computer, just kind of hanging out with your friends. I feel like you're choosing to be on your own. This may be what you don't want to see. You don't want to see that you're not making the right decisions to find the right partner for you. And this is just bringing you loneliness and heartache. For those who are in a relationship, I felt like you're hurting over something, going on in the relationship, or you're hurting because you feel like you're losing your partner. But those who are single, you're just hurting because you don't want to be alone anymore. You've been this energy of the Hermit for long enough. And I feel like for some of you, yeah, because I'm looking at what's going on here. You've been alone long enough. Like for some of you, you've been single for quite some time. You've done your soul searching, so there's nothing to search for anymore. You have a choice and a decision that you have to make here, but I feel like it's not easy. And some of you may be saying easier said than done, and I do get that from the Strength card. I feel like in order to make the decision that you have to make, you're gonna have to really be strong, suck it up. I feel like your ego may not let you kind of make this decision very easily. I feel like you have to be kind of really persistent in making, taking the steps to have the partner that you want. But I definitely feel like you're feeling loneliness. It's right in the center of the reading. And I feel like you've been on your own long enough, but love is here for you. This is a new relationship. Okay, so this row, again, back to people who are married or in a relationship. Like I said, there's heartache and there may be some suspicion going on here, choices that you have to make, but they're telling you again here with the Temperance card that everything is going to be fine. So I feel like those of you that are thinking of just kind of opting out, I quit this relationship, I'm letting him or her go, I feel like don't do that quite yet. At least that's what this reading is telling me. Yeah, because notice what we have going on. Let me go back up here. There's heartache here, but there's also love. And, there's kind of a struggle as far as your ego, and there may be some forgiveness as far as your partner, but there's also love. So they're telling you here, don't do anything extreme. I feel like don't cut your partner off. Don't end the relationship, because I feel like things will work out in your favor. And like I said, this is love. for those of you who are in a relationship, of course, this means that you will rekindle your relationship. Look at what we have going on down the front of the reading. Like I said, this is your relationship being rekindled. This is where you are now. This is heartache. It's possible, you know, possibly being alienated from your partner, being separated. But there's a victory. So there's love and there's victory, but there is heartache, right, you know, at the heart of the reading. But they're telling you, don't do anything extreme. Like, you know, you may be tempted to, those of you that may be just kind of living with your partner or in a committed relationship, you may be tempted to throw in the towel. They're saying don't do that, because you have something special here. You have love. I feel like you have to be very patient with yourself, because you may be tempted to want to argue and fight, you know, lined up here, suspicions. This is being like very forgiving and kind of listening to the other person. I feel like you have something good. Okay, so going back to those who are single, you know, the same thing applies. You have love here. Love is waiting for you. And we have love represented in this love reading in the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. And so I feel like here with the Temperance card, you know, I'm drawn back to the Seven of Swords. I'm not sure exactly, like, there's like a lot of like things that are kind of coming up right now, and I can't like play out like every scenario because it's a general reading. But I feel like some people like that are single, like there's either like a partner that you're being drawn to, like I said with the Seven of Swords. I feel like for some of you, you may be looking in the wrong place. So I feel like for some of you, like, don't commit to a partner that you have lukewarm feelings for. Like, you know, you think, well, they're okay. You know, I could do worse. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, because you have true love here and there's true love here. So I feel like don't do anything extreme when it comes to like a relationship that, you know, it's just like the person's there, the person loves you. You know, don't kind of feel like you have to jump into a relationship because you think, you know, this person or, you know, that person is, you know, they're very, you know, they have a very good heart and they love me, but what about you? Do you love them? I feel like you might kind of be tempted to just kind of settle, and they're telling you don't settle because the real deal is right here for you. Again, I feel like in order to really kind of jump in and maybe make a decision that you want to make, and maybe, you know, maybe it's not that person that it's safe for you, that person that just kind of fits the ideal of who you should be in a relationship with. You may have to really kind of tackle your ego and be strong, either in continuing your search to find that right partner, or making some type of decision as far as like the person that, you know, in your heart is telling you, you know, this is who I should be with, even though it may not be difficult. There may be, you know, a lot of heartache and worry as far as like actually being with that person. But again, I feel like that message of like don't settle is coming through loud and clear. So I feel like those of you who are single, there may be like someone that is either in your life right now who is coming in that you just kind of feel like they're okay, like there's nothing wrong with them, and they like you and you have a lot in common. But again, it's just like make sure that you're really kind of feeling that, you know, that sense of romance and that sense of excitement, because I feel like if you're not, you know, back to the Seven of Swords, you're putting on the blinders again. And I feel like, you know, you're putting yourself in a situation where you're better off single than being in a relationship. I know it's kind of like a scary and a bad thing to say in a romance reading, but I feel like you're looking for someone in particular, and I feel like you're being guided there. But again, there's some type of like choice or decision that you have to make. Okay, everyone, this has been your weekly reading. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again soon.